Hi, I'm Mark Cleghorn, the Training Director for the Photographer Academy, and welcome to my series on Smugmug. And today we're talking selling. Now, I appreciate for some of you, you're not interested in the selling aspect for the Smugmug environment. You're more interested in kind of the showing and the sharing and the storage of your images, of course. But as a pro photographer, the most important thing for me is to make sure that my images have the maximum chance to sell. So as a wedding photographer, the online sales is a perfect environment for guests to go and see the photographs as well as the bride and groom themselves. As a portrait photographer, it's a perfect excuse to have the e-commerce solution, this turnkey shop that they give us on Smugmug, to be able to actually put the images up there for kind of post-sale review and buying extra prints with friends and family and so on. And that's basically it in a nutshell. It's about sales and how you kind of work around all the facilities that Smugmug give you to make sure that you get the maximum amount of money for your images. Now, as far as the different labs are concerned, depends where you are in the world and which lab that you choose, they'll be offering a different kind of product range. So that's interesting to know. I'm based in the UK and Loxley Colour is the only lab based here and they service me. In fact, they're the lab I use all the time anyway, so it's a double bonus. But as far as the product range is concerned, they're going to be a little bit more limited to perhaps than some of the USA labs who've been involved with Smugmug for a lot longer. If you opt out of choosing a lab, then Smugmug has a default lab that will fulfill the order for you. But as a pro user, I must choose my preferred lab in each of my price lists. There's no opt-out option. Now, you can set a very specific price to your photography, or you can work by a percentage of profit. So in other words, I can just go into a price list, set it up from scratch, set a 400, 500, 600% profit range on that, choose the products that I want for the client, and pretty much I can be up and selling within a few short minutes. However, what I'd say to you, I recommend, as I do on all my workshops in marketing, is to make sure that less is more. In other words, choose your products very specific to the clientele that you deal with. You might have chosen a variety of products that just don't suit the style of photography that you do or the style of clients that you attract. Also, if you price your product too high, you're going to find, even though with this amazing facility on Smugmug, being able to get out there and view your images, you're going to price yourself out of the market. You're going to price yourself out of the client market. So be very aware of how you price your product. Otherwise, you're going to have a facility that is not going to be used by the client. As far as the client is concerned, the usability, what they use, is getting in there with a one-click shop. They can go through, and as long as you've set up the basics correct to begin with, they can go in there and select the different product ranges, different quantities, and then it's an easy kind of click and shopping out. Now, let's not forget that all the fulfillment of the order is by a Smugmug lab. So once the order is accessed, in other words, it's agreed and it's paid for, then I'll give a okay to the proof delay, because on most of my galleries, I put a proof delay on there. That's kind of stalls it, so it comes back to me to look at before I then allow it to go off to the lab. And then as far as the print fulfillment is concerned, the labs are posting directly out to the clients the majority of the time. There are options there to kind of ship back to us, but the whole point of this is to take the strain away from small studios and to maximize the photography time that the photographers can get to. And that's pretty much it. That's selling in a nutshell. The key things are there's several elements there to really maximize. Let's not forget to share images, because obviously if you share images, one of the great things about Smugmug, it brings them back to the gallery. If they bring them back to the gallery, it means they can buy prints if you've got the buy now button on. Make sure you choose the right price list for the products that you're selling. If you want to actually shoot weddings and you want to maximize more print sales, then perhaps look at the event element that we're going to be covering in this film. Lots and lots of things for you to go out there and maximize, including the option to go into packages to offer clients a little bit more variety. That's enough from me. Let's get into the film. So to get you started selling on Smugmug, the first thing is to go up to your account settings via the little icon there. And then clicking onto business, clicking onto making money, and then we're going to look at price lists just by clicking onto manage. So price lists really depend on which price plan you're going for. For me, it's the business plan, so I can have multiple price lists and I can apply them in any way they want across galleries. By default, when you start your Smugmug site, you're going to have one default price list. And you need to change that as soon as you can. And the reason for that, it has no percentage to earn on. So all you need to do is go up to create, and to create a new price list, just give it a name, whatever's good for you. Choose your lab that you're going to use, choose your currency, Decide on color correction. Now you can do that post anyway, and then decide on a minimum default profit of what you want to earn. Remember, this is just to get you going. If I was you, just put up to very high, 500, 800, whatever you want to do. And then it just makes sure that if you sell images by default and the client clicks on them straight away, at least you're going to earn some money straight off. At this point, I want to make this my default price list. So just by clicking that, and by doing that, I'm guaranteed that the images that we're going to be selling are going to be earning us some money. Once you apply those changes, all the products that are available from that lab are now going to be available to any client for them to buy. But of course, what we really want to do is assign a particular price list to the kind of clients that I want. I want to make sure that my default price list is the one that is going to be applied across all galleries at any time, unless I go in and set a specific price list. Edit list here, and click on make this my default price list. Apply changes, and once more, we're guaranteed to earn money. Just by clicking into manage price list now. Whilst we're in price lists, is to always maintain that you choose the products that are right for your clients. If you overprice what you're trying to sell, you're not going to sell it. So in other words, if you're a low-end photographer and you try and sell your images at a high-ended price, you're going to find that they're just not going to sell, and they're going to be out of your client's depth. On the other hand, it can work in reverse. If you're a high-end photographer and you're selling your prints too cheap, of course, that can work against you as well. So always make sure when you're looking at the products that you're going to include that they're most suitable for you and your clients and your product, of course. That's absolutely key. So to just choose products, click on to choose products, and then work through the selection. Now, if I was you, less is more. Always choose less products. You don't want to get the client confused. If you don't want to offer all three finishes, I hardly ever offer all three finishes. I would just click either luster or gloss, or just one of them, whatever's best for you or kind of my clients. Once I've chosen those, I click into done, and then you scroll down by toggling that open and then setting your prices for your price structure. Once we've done that, I'm just going to go back up into my home page, and I go into my client galleries. Now, these galleries are probably all set with the default portrait price list, or they've been set a specific price list. Now, to set a specific price list, I can just click onto customize and then click onto set prices. And at this stage, I can go ahead and choose a new price list or whatever price list I want it to be. And remember, if a price list is not set onto a gallery, it takes on the default gallery. So be careful that you're making money from your photography by going in and changing that first default price list by Smugmug right at the beginning. Another way to maximize your sales is to make sure your galleries are for sales. So in gallery settings, when you come down to shopping, you make sure that the shopping is switched on. It is on by default, of course. If you haven't got time to fix all the images before they kind of are uploaded to Smugmug, I'd still recommend that's what you do. Upload less of the client files, minimizing the amount of images that they go to choose from, and maximizing the quality that the client cannot resist to buy them. So remember, if we're setting in that proof delay, it allows us to review the client's order and make sure that all is well with the likes of crop, any kind of mailing address and so on with it. Plus, if I need to, I can actually go into and edit and correct anything as far as the original image is concerned before approving them to go off to the laboratory. So you can see in here, when I click onto the image, we've got a buy button down on the right hand side, or in this gallery style that we have here in Smugmug, there's a buy button there already. So in the client view, they can click on the buy. They can either choose this photo or photos from this gallery. And then by simply clicking onto the images that they want to buy, they'll be automatically added into their cart. But there's a better way again to be earning money from our images, and that's if we start to take on packages. So let's click onto the account settings by that little icon. We're going to click onto packages. So if we make packages up in advance, of course, we can simply click onto the one that I want to apply to the gallery. click into Choose Galleries. And then go into Find the gallery that I want to add in. And then once we save that, we can go back to the client view, refresh it. We can see that the client can now buy a photo package. In this case, there's only one photo package here, but you could have as many photo packages as you want here. I would say a maximum of 3, just so you don't confuse the clients. It's a real quick way to generate bigger sales by just encouraging that client to buy a few more images to save a lot more money, of course. If I want to make a new package up, it's as simple as clicking on New Package, giving a package name, a description of what the package is, which is usually a combination of either prints or frames or whatever you want to apply. Add the products in there that I want to sell with that package. Choosing the lab that I want to use. Decide whether or not the color correction should be on and off. Now remember, if you're not working on a calibrated system, make sure that the color correction is always switched on so the lab will do the best job for you. Otherwise, they're going to accept the file that you're giving them, of course. Click onto the currency that you want to deal with. Now in this case, the prints will be coming out from the USA because the packages at this point are only available from labs outside the UK. Going to enter in the price that I want to be selling it for, of course, and then it will reveal how much profit we're going to make. And this also allows the amount of money that it's going to kind of cost us at the lab, of course. Clicking on to save. And then if we haven't done so already, of course, we can go back, just like we did before, choosing the galleries that we want to use. Clicking done there and save. And then if we go back to our client view again, click now onto the buy this photo package, and you can see that there's 2 here. So we're giving that client choice, which is absolutely essential for us, helping us to make more and more sales. Another way to earn money from our images is to create an event. This is great for the likes of weddings. Again, back into account settings, business, making money, and then clicking onto events. And this is where we can set up a specific event for a client. Filling in the event information, clicking into the event settings. And this can also feature on the home page if we want to make a big deal out of it. Nice and easy for the clients to find then. The great thing about this is that we've got the options to collect data from the clients, so we can make it required for them to fill in their registration details with us. As far as the galleries that we're going to assign to it, we could have several ones, especially with a wedding, where perhaps we split the galleries into getting ready, the service, the bride and groom, and the rest of the day and so on. You can add all those galleries into the event themselves. We can then add in the clients into their names, and we can directly send an email straight out to them. We're encouraging them to send it out to friends. So it's kind of creating a marketing event by itself. So the whole point is to create that buzz, of course. And that's what events can do for you. They can bring attention to the specific galleries and allowing them sharing out to their friends. And this is the kind of email that a client will get. So when they just click onto this, it'll take them straight off towards the gallery page. And then by clicking into the photographs, they'll still have to fill in the password required. And then once into the gallery, they can make way through the images, making their easy selection and purchase. Another way to bring attention to a gallery is using the social media sharing. I can directly share from here to Facebook, Google, tweet, and even an email. And this will always bring the client back to this gallery. One of the biggest problems with social media is this fragmental disbursement where, we don't make the decision where we want the client to come back to. They're going all over the place to blog and kind of our Facebook page and so on. But the great thing about this is that they're bringing them back to the gallery and bringing them straight back to the buy button. So again, never forget to use the social sharing, because there's more chance we've got way to bring attention to our gallery and creating sales from our friends and from the client's friends and so on. Of course, you can reshare that image and it will always bring guests back to this gallery, making us guest sales. So I think that demonstrates a quick and easy way to share and sell your images on Smugmug. And you only have to have that little bit of a plan to see how you're going to promote your photography to start to generate greater profits. Because even though we know the images are online, there's times that we forget to tell our clients. So the key thing is to make sure we've got the right prices for the right client with the right products, and we can tell them and show them where they are to buy. So I'm Mark Claiborne for the Photographer Academy. Go make some money using Smugmug. See you next time.